Hello humans, Dave back again, here for more Fruit of Grisaia. It's been a minute since I sat down and played this, so I'm excited to hop back in and see where this story goes. Got to meet some of them of the cast last time, namely Michiru. She was great, honestly. Uh, Very interesting character so far, and I look forward to seeing where I go with this, honestly, because I'm not sure between her and Sachi just yet, but we'll see how it progresses and see what I think from there. So let's hop right into this.
続けますね。
Continue. Learn to read, David. Yes, this save. All right, cool. Class is starting in another 15 minutes, but it should be fine. I'll just kill some time somewhere. Yeah, sounds good.
おはよ
Hi.
う。おはようございます。
Of course you hit me with the full formal phrase. That is adorable. 5 minutes before the start of class, practically the moment after I re-enter the classroom, Amane and Sachi arrive. The tsundere from earlier is looking at me with naked aggression, but noticing the arrival of the others.
おはよう、あまね、サチ。
Resuming the performance in question, she promptly calls out to them.
おはようございます、みちる様。
The instant her greeting is, I was processing, so I almost forgot to read it out loud. The instant her greeting is returned, Michiru runs over noisily and shakes her hands in front of Sachi.
どうかしたんですか？サチ、あんたそれやめてって言ったでしょ？みちる様っての。で
Oh.
も、これはみちる様が絶対にそう呼べって言ったから。だからあれはその冗談で、一度物理フォーマットしてもう一回入れ直せない？ね、ね。
I'm very happy with this scene. The two favorite characters interacting, and it's fantastic. Michiru, while glancing over in my direction for some reason, desperately entreats Sachi. Amane, leaning on a desk, seems to be occupied with trying to hold in her laughter. Yeah, I feel that one.
そんな絶対って言ったから。だから
Oh,
私。
no, it's okay. It's okay.
あー
Hey, you
泣かないで
better.
泣かないで。とりあえず今だけこれ命令。はい、泣きません。
Okay, I feel like you didn't take that the right way, dear. The instant Michiru speaks, Sachi's tears abruptly vanish as if someone threw a switch. Michiru watches her cautiously, sweating heavily.
はあ、
That's
わ
a
かっ
face.
たわよ。特に何も規制とかしないから好きに呼べばいいじゃない。はい、みちる様。
She hates it, but she's like, alright, that's great. That did not help me make a decision. Oh my god. Michiru staggers her way back to her seat. With all the vitality of a limp wreck. You feeling alright, Michiru-sama?
殺すわよ。
There we go. Sorry, just wanted to give it a try.
うー。
Michiru collapses weakly onto her desk.
おはよ
Hello. Makina's lisping voice sounds from the rear of the classroom. Seems like she might not be used to my presence yet, judging from the way she beelines straight for Amane, hides herself behind her, and steals glimpses at me.
う。おはよう。あんたの人見知りというか、男見知りは本当に筋金入りね。
Impress, huh? That's an interesting, phrase to use.
マキナ、大丈夫よ。ちょっとムカつくとこもあるけど、
The
こいつは
fuck
そ
did
んな
I...
危ない人間じゃなさそう。
Yeah, okay, thanks, I guess. I'll take it. Appreciate it, Michiru.
別にあんたのため
Oh
に
my
したわ
god,
け
you
じゃない
said...
よ。
It's not like I like you or anything, Baka. That's alright, you're doing good. You are putting on that tsundere pretty well.
決まった！ 今のは決まった！
You couldn't just leave it as you had to. All right, it was perfect. Now you've given yourself away again. Keep up the good work. Hey man, I get it. I really get it now. Apart from the large woman, this bunch seems to present quite a variety of communication difficulties. Nothing but fantastically normal students here, eh, Principal? As if in response to my sarcasm, with the chiming of the opening bell. Hello. I forgot how adorable you were. Good. The perfectly normal principal appears before my eyes. Wait a second, there's only 4... As we've arrived at the beginning of the school day, I notice a difference from the information I'd heard yesterday.
みんな揃ってるわねってわけでもないかやっぱり
Sorry. Nice to see everyone, or not quite. Standing at the podium, the principal notices the irregularity at a glance.
榊さんは今日はお休みかしら
Uh-huh. Her tone seems to be asking if anyone's familiar with the circumstances.
今日も重役出勤じゃないかしらここんとこずっとそうだし
Hmm.
確かに最近は夕方からしか来なくなっちゃったわねゆみちゃんどうしたのかな何かあったんでしょうか
Apparently, I'm not the only one with questions about our lone truant.
まあいいわ風見くんの紹介もしたかったけどそのうちに会えるでしょ
Surely. You're strangely tolerant.
ちょっといろいろとあってねじゃあ出席を取ります、
Interesting. From an open window, the scent of the tide flows into the room. Perhaps because of the walls and steel fences surrounding us on all sides, it's not always easy to remember that this place is in fact close to the sea. In contrast to the breeze and the blue sky's intimations of freedom, the gray of those jutting fences speaks of denial and rejection. While my classmates raise their voices energetically, I pass the time staring into that sky. School life, huh?
ここが視聴覚教室です。すべての席に
AV
リス
Club,
ニング
let's
と
go.
ヒアリングの機材が揃えられていて、語学学習にも適しています。
Nice. That sounds fun. Looks that way. I can tell from a glance that this place is well equipped. Using the time after the homeroom period, I'm getting a small introduction to the school's facilities from Sachi. Normally this would be the principal's job, but she seems to be occupied with official duties, so I ended up getting another tour from our class rep.
ライブラリはすべて外部にあるサーバーと高速回線でつながっていて、いつでも短時間で検索し、鑑賞することができます。
Cool. Good internet.
だから、
Nice.
ここには DVD とかブルーレイとかは一本もないんです。
Just stream everything. Alright, fine. Which would make checking a movie out impossible, I guess.
そうですね。あまねさんはそれで前に残念がってました。
Sachi smiles a bit wryly as she speaks. Most of this stuff is probably in that pamphlet somewhere, but Sachi's explanations are comparatively to the point, clear, and easy to understand. Seems she's actually quite intelligent.
過去に放送されたテレビ番組も全部ではありませんが、鑑賞することができます。
Some television shows to watch?
ないものについては請求して承認されればサーバーに入れてもらえますので。
I see. Alright, so it's like a whole private collection thing. Looks like they weren't that sloppy on the casting after all.
何のドラマの話ですか？
The school drama currently being broadcast.
以上になります。
What? I didn't get that, but hopefully it will make sense in time. Are they saying that that's what this is? Or is that just like a joke that I'm not getting? Having completed a general review of the school's facilities, Sachi's explanation comes to an end. Thanks, it was a big help.
いえ、これもクラス委員の仕事です
Of
から。
course it is. I guess so.
それより風見さんはまだここに残るんですか？
Yeah, there's still a classmate I haven't met yet, after all.
あ、そうですね。
Hearing my response, Sachi's brisk tone gives way to a hesitant mumble.
あの、
Oh, that face. My decision has not gotten any easier. What?
いえ、なんでもないです。すみません。
Tell me. After a brisk bow, she quickly runs off down the hallway. Alright, find out later, I guess. Did I trigger a death flag just now? I don't think there's a single person in the world who wouldn't worry after that kind of ominous foreshadow. Yeah, what? Well, that might be an overstatement. There are some pretty carefree people out there. I'm just not one of them. I feel ya. Seems like it would be best to be on my guard, or more so than usual. The light flooding in through the windows has shifted from overhead to my side. It won't be that long until the sun sets. After parting from Sachi, I walk the empty hallway alone. My surroundings are very nearly soundless thanks to my habitually quiet footsteps. However, inside the stillness, I sense a definite presence at my destination. She finally show up? I hear a faint sound from the interior of the previously silent classroom. With that confirmation, I slowly open the door. Hello. The moment I enter the classroom, tension fills the air. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. Behind a window seat desk in the middle of the classroom, the chair rattles as its occupant turns to face me. My immediate impression of the girl, she doesn't appear particularly friendly. Yo. While it might not be the most polite first greeting, I call out casually as I approach in order to demonstrate my lack of malicious intent. Sakaki Yumiko, right? Her expression doesn't change, of course it doesn't. Sitting on the chair, absolutely stock still, she stares fixedly at me. Kazumi Yuji, I'm a new student here as of today. I come to a halt in front of her desk. So I'll be your classmate as well, it seems. Pulling out a chair from the desk in front of her, I sit down. At the moment, we're about a meter apart. Nonetheless, the woman stares at me so tensely that she seems to be forgetting to breathe. Rather than staring, her expression could probably be more accurately described as glaring. I wasn't able to introduce myself in the morning. Heard you'd probably be around in the evening. I keep talking regardless, but no response is forthcoming. Maybe she's got a psychological problem with men like Machina? But then again, she didn't try to run when I approached her. I change my position on the seat to face her directly. Straddling the chair, I lean forward slightly. The motion has closed the 1 meter gap between us down to about 70 centimeters. I'd like to at least confirm your identity. Hey. As if to declare her refusal to acknowledge my existence, the woman stands from her seat and briskly moves to exit the classroom. How about at least responding to me? I follow her immediately. The woman opens the classroom's rear door just enough for one person to pass and tries to slip her way outside. Hey. Calling out again, I try to follow her through that gap. In that moment, the woman forcefully slams the door shut. She clearly closed it, knowing full well I was trying to follow. Her expression betrays surprise. Maybe she'd been expecting me to get my hand caught in the door or back off from having it slammed in my face. Instead, the door she'd attempted to slide closed is firmly held open by my hand, an outcome she apparently hadn't been prepared for. Could have broken my hand, you know that? Although she's the one who's trying to shatter my fingers, she's glaring at me like I'm the bad guy here. What exactly did I do to deserve this from someone I've just met? Just looking for an introduction. Opening the half-shut door, I take a step forward. She doesn't back down. Ooh, quite the greeting. I stop the motion of her hand about 5 centimeters before its target. It isn't the most efficient block, but for the purpose of diffusing her reckless hostility, an easily comprehensible action seems necessary. I was expecting something of the sort, but you favor the classic slap to the face, I see. Maintaining my grasp on the woman's wrist, I stare her down at short range. As for the woman, she's staring right back, her eyes open wide with shock, completely still. Well then, let me ask you again. The strong orange glow of the evening sun illuminates the classroom. Are you Sakaki Yumiko? Her expression hostile as ever, the woman slowly opens her mouth. With an air of slight resignation, but clearly unwavering in her refusal of any relation with me, she speaks. Alright, that's gonna be an interesting story. Okay, good to meet you. That's it. As the evening sun fell behind a cloud, its light dimmed and the classroom filled with shadow. With the sound of Yumiko's breath and the faint roar of the waves from beyond the walls, the curtain was raised on my normal student life. Oh, it's like an OP thing? Sweet. Ooh. That's some fun animation. The World Tree of Grisaia. The name of the gray tree is Grisaia. I didn't get to read all of that, but that's a lot of imagery. Man, the way she was sitting there really, like, flicked something in my brain. Okay, hello. I can't, it's too fast. Amina, alright. Michiru, hello. I'm gonna... Tsundere's sweetheart. Okay, they each get little things. Type O. Hello. Okay. I want to see Sachi's now. This is really... She is adorable. Oh my god, she's so cute though. Oh, I'm in, man. This is gonna be so fun. Can't wait. Whoa. How this is gonna get real dramatic, isn't it? Hey, main guy. All right. Oh, these little chibi versions. This is fantastic. This is really endearing me to this story so far. All right, cool. That's cool. Hello. Alright, that was nice. That was cool. I wasn't expecting like a full anime style OP, but I guess that actually makes a lot of sense. June 4th. Alright. And we're back. It's still like a coin flip for me. I don't know who I'm picking. Whatever. We'll see how I feel in the moment. The period of the school day before classes begin is fundamentally blank, meaningless time. They say it's always best to arrive 20 minutes early, but preparing for a class takes 60 seconds at most. After that, there's not much to do other than wander around awkwardly. Still, I've always imagined school life as a fairly relaxed experience. Part of me was actually wondering if a little aimless downtime might be enjoyable in its way. But unfortunately... What, again? Hello. That slightly pitiful fantasy was shattered all too quickly. Of course, I'm not going to break a sweat from any attack of Yumiko's, but being slashed at with a blade isn't the kind of pleasant breather I had in mind. What? I didn't even notice. Didn't even process what had happened until he said that. How did you dodge that? Why are you trying to murder me? I guess she had thought it particularly well-timed attack, judging from the shocked gaze she's directing at me as she catches her breath. Of course, given the conspicuous clicking sound and her plainly audible footsteps, she might as well have been screaming, "Here I come," but... Time moves at half speed in my immediate vicinity. You fucking... Giving a straight answer would be a pain, so I would pull something out of my ass. You believe me. Oh my dear god. Yeah, I'm just screwing with you. Maybe it's just me, but I think trying to stab your classmate is somewhat worse. Alright, hello, third favorite. Whoever lands in first is up in the air, but you have a solid third place grip. This woman's copy of the criminal code seems to be missing the page on attempted murder. But judging from the way she momentarily bought my nonsense, she's unexpectedly airheaded. Maybe a bit naive would be the nicer way to put it. Alright. Committed to memory. There's only 6 of us here. It'd be harder to forget. I'm a smart ass. Deal with it. Still glaring in my direction, Yumiko retracts the blade of her box cutter. Alright, bye. And snorting in displeasure leaves with a flutter of her skirt. Yeah, so my third playthrough is
ゆうじ
going to be
くん
her,
も
I
やって
think.
きてそうそう災難ね。
Yeah, I guess so. When I return to the classroom, Amane strikes up a conversation. I guess the story of the knife assault in question is already spread around the classroom, as my problem with Yumiko seems to be common knowledge. It's not like she's doing me any harm, but I can't say I'm enjoying this. In our first encounter, I approached the stubbornly silent Yumiko in a physical sense. The outcome was her initial act of rejection. In part, that might have been the result of my own heightened wariness. Sachi's heavy-handed foreshadowing put me on guard, and I have a tendency not to trust someone I'm meeting for the first time. At that time, while I certainly felt animosity from her, it wasn't so intense as to discourage me from approaching. However, from our second encounter on, Yumiko bared open hostility towards me. What's worse, apparently having come to the conclusion that she wasn't a match for me barehanded, she's been swinging around a box cutter of all things. According to Amane, it seems that Yumiko has something of a habit of brandishing retractable knives at people. Of course, her goal is usually more intimidation than anything else, but speaking as the target this time, I can sense there's a part of her that's seriously trying to stab me. It's not the best feeling in the world.
ライバルとして認められたってことじゃないのかな。あの子、うちらには威嚇の意味で歯を出したりはするけど、本当に切りつけたりはしない
Yeah,
し。
she just does that. What? I'd really prefer to avoid that kind of recognition.
いきなり接近しようとするからよ。近寄ってわからなかった？あの子の周りに強烈に張られたバリア。
Didn't notice.
ユージ君って強そうに見えるけど、鈍感さは命取りになりそうね。
I'm pretty perceptive when my life's in danger, but I don't really feel that level of threat from Yumiko.
ユージ君って普通の恋愛とかちゃんとできるの？
My master did say I was exceptionally unskilled in that department.
師匠？
At any rate, I want to do something about Yumiko's aggressive rejection of me. For that purpose, I'll need to talk to someone familiar with her circumstances.
はいはい。ホームルームを始めるわよ。
Hello. With the attendance book in her hand as usual, our carefree principal appears. I guess Chizuru is the only one I can ask. In conclusion, Yumiko seems to hate me with a passion.
榊さんがどうかはともかく、あなたが嫌われる理由はよくわかるわ。
Ow. Let's hear it then.
じゃないわよ。事情を知っていて暇そうなのは学園長ぐらいしかいないと思ったから聞きに来たって。わざわざ宣言して部屋に入ってくるとか何考えてるのよ。
Yes. I only said what I was thinking. Was I wrong?
違うわよ。一応。
Oh my god. And is she an option? Because she's cute. Got it. In deference to your feelings, no matter how much I think you're lazing around, I'll keep it quietly buried in my heart from now on. Good enough?
そんなこと言われたら疑心暗鬼になるだけでしょ。
What do you want from me? Spare me the vague complaints. What's your pleasure?
だから嫌われるのよ。
Do you have an idea?
なんでも。で、質問の答えだけど。
Sorry, there was a cat hair or something on my mic and it was bugging me. The principal, cup in hand, lowers herself across from the sofa I'm reclining on.
榊さんはこの学園の創設以来の学生なの。
This place just opened recently, right?
ポポね。一応学園の設立は今から1年前ぐらいだから。
Okay.
彼女はその時からここにいるのよ。
Got it. I see. What does that have to do with her rejecting me? Before responding to my question, she takes a sip of coffee from the cup in her hand.
自分のテリトリーに入ってくるのが怖いんでしょ。
Frightening.
そう。これまでは自分の認識できるものしかここには来なかったのに、いきなり異性の、それも得体の知れない人間が自分の近くに入り込んできた。
Principal Tachibana takes a pen in her empty hand and jabs it toward me to emphasize her point.
なので排除しようとしたってことじゃないかしら。
Hazing, is it? A bit of bullying comes with being a bit of bullying comes with being a fresh recruit, but I didn't expect the same here.
いじめにしてはいじめられる側が強力すぎるけどね。
Apparently unconvinced by the idea of Sakaki stealing my lunch money, Principal Tachibana hides a snort of laughter behind her hand. Although it's certainly amusing considering the balance of our physical strength, I don't see how I can manage a decent student life at this rate. I'm honored to have provided a moment of amusement for our perpetually overworked principal. Such an ass. But I came here hoping to have a path toward overcoming this challenge illuminated by your educational guidance.
あなた、実は私をいじめる目的でここに来たんで
It's
す。
kind of fun. But only because you're cute. Excuse me. Cranky from beginning to end, ultimately the principal didn't provide me with any useful advice, surprisingly. This is what a school is like, so figure it out for yourself. A normal school life means a few problems like this. I do have to admit she managed to dodge the issue reasonably well with that last line. In any case, since she didn't have any clear answer for me, I'm left with no choice but to do as she says and try to work on this over time. It's not really my style to go with the flow like this, but if that's the proposal of my educational guide, there's no helping it. That's fantastic. Yeah.
スパーリングみたいになってきたわね。
I love this.
新兵を手のひらの上であしらう教官なのよさ。最初はハラハラしましたけど、こうなってくると緊張感のかけらもないですよね。
Everyone's just entirely used to it. Unstoppable. The result of going with the flow, Yumiko's attacks have been continuing without any particular change to date.
ユージもしっかり相手しちゃうから。
Look, could you quit it already?
うるさい。
Damn, hit me with the Urusai. Alright, this character, Yumiko, is very endearing. But it won't make me forget the other two. They're right there. Look at them. Look at them. Her movements thrown off by my sudden sidestep, Yumiko staggers forward unsteadily. She tries desperately to regain her balance, resulting in a ridiculous pose and strong contrast with her usual haughty demeanor. Michiru lets out an involuntary giggle at the spectacle. She is instantly pierced by Yumiko's furious glare. Ignoring Michiru as she cowers behind her desk, Yumiko storms out of the classroom in a towering rage.
行っちゃった。このところずっとリプレイを見せられているようです。
Why are you always talking about these dramas, like these television? Like, why are you always talking about TV shows, Sachi? Like, you into some school dramas, or what is this? Is this a school drama? What is happening? Is it just a meta joke, or is it actually happening? What? These characters are all very fun. There's an anime of this? I'm looking forward to that. Seems like this one we're very familiar by now. With the exception of Michiru, everyone seems perfectly calm. Even if this little routine doesn't bother them, as a directly concerned party, it's problematic. Hey, Amane. In response to my call, she points to herself with her index finger, silently asking me? When I nod, she approaches in her usual pointlessly sexy way. What? You thirsty, girl. I respect it, but... I'm sorry, do you actually want me to treat you like a sex worker?
そういう日があ
The
っても
fuck?
いいかな。
Alright, I mean, I respect it. Yeah, I'll be sure to keep that offer in mind. But that's not what I need today.
は、なんなの？
You've known her, Yumiko, for a long time, right?
うーん、そりゃ確かに多少は他の子よりかは付き合いも長いけど。
Any ideas about the reason she's rejecting me this intensely?
ごめん、わからない。ああいう子でしょ。正直事務的なこと以外に話す機会もあまりないのよね。
I see.
ユウジ君も来たことだし、これから少しずつ話とかできればとは思うけど、今は私もほぼデフォルトに近い状態なのよね。
Got it. Certainly, Yumiko hardly seems the type to open up and reveal herself to someone just because they've known each other a while. I guess I'll have to find a solution myself after all. Thanks anyway. Let me know if anything comes to mind. With those words, I move to exit the classroom. If Yumiko's rejection continues to take this form, I'll have no choice but to ask the principal's advice again. At the moment I open the door and prepare to leave,
仲間意識かな。
I stop at the sound of Amane's voice.
ユウジ君ってさ、よそから来た人じゃん。そういうとこ、あの子は異物感があって嫌なのか
That
も
does, I
ね。
mean, that makes sense. She's saying the same things as the principal, huh? Does it feel that way to you as well, Amane?
私はそんなことないわよ。ユウジ君を全力で支援しちゃうから。
It's a little hard to take that seriously given the flow of this conversation.
ユウジ君のこと仲間だって思ったら戦いも終わるかもね。
Interesting. I return to the dorm and wander the hallways without any particular objective. Compared to shutting myself up alone in my room, it's easier to gather my thoughts. One of the group, huh? I recall Amane's parting words. It's easy for her to say, but actually getting that island of a human being to recognize me as a friend seems next to impossible. First of all, we're not even on speaking terms yet. Oh, this late already? The sun is sinking below the window frame, casting shadows along the hall. About time for me to return to my room. Guess I'll try talking to her tomorrow. I scratch my head as I turn toward my bedroom. The sound of my slippers echoes roughly in the hallway. Yumiko might have her own set of internal rules, since she hasn't tried to attack me even once while inside the dorm. It's not that I was particularly off my guard as a result of that assumption, rather it was probably because it happened at this particular time of day. Or so I would reflect to myself later. There she is. Evening, a hallway in the dormitory lit by the setting sun. At the flash of thirsty. Let's try that one again. At the flash of thrusting light, I react instinctively and grab her arm firmly. Stop trying to kill me, please. With her arm captured, Yumiko's face stiffens. The box cutter, blade still extended, rattles around at her feet, turning in circles around the handle. Trying for the element of surprise, Yumiko's expression changes from shock to fear. That's what tips me off that I'm not wearing my peaceful face. Sorry, that came out of nowhere, so I couldn't hold back. I didn't want to frighten her. I thought I could play the normal student. I wanted to convince myself that I could. Look, Yumiko. Still gripping her arm, I look into her eyes and speak. I'm not your enemy. Yumiko's expression betrays uncertainty for just a moment. But just as quickly, it settles back into her customary mask. But it doesn't look like you're convinced of that yet, so let me say one thing. Releasing her arm, I pick up the box cutter lying in front of her feet. Carefully retracting the blade, I hold it out to Yumiko. I won't cause you harm, and I won't pry into your business either. That's a promise, so stop this. It's pointless. Observe me and reach your own conclusions. If I'm lying, you can always try stabbing me again. Stumbling, Yumiko retreats a single step. Bye. Interesting. Turning around, I return to my room. Normally, Yumiko would seize such a chance to attack, but something's different now. Her elongated shadow is still, and the hallway is silent except for the small sound of her breathing. Progress, I think. Good stuff. After that day, Yumiko's attacks came to an abrupt halt. Hopefully I can use this as an opportunity to slightly improve our relationship. I'm trying to live a normal campus life, so it would be nice to minimize the number of classmates who want me dead. Yeah, I'd say so. Hello, casual outfit. Super cute. Yo. As usual, to call Yumiko's behavior when we come across each other curt would be an understatement. But at the very least, judging from the clearly different way she's looking at me, her observation period seems to be ongoing. Hey, words speaking to me. Fantastic. I'll answer unless you want to know my weaknesses. Pink hair and twin tails. That was the question. What a shame. Come up with something else. She occasionally talks to me like this, but instead of friendly chats about our lunch plans, we have investigative inquiries with careful negotiations. Even so, I suppose it's a considerable improvement over outright bloodshed. Okay. Is that your idea of social interaction between classmates? Oh, that's right, I forgot. Sorry. Right then. I open my hands in an exaggerated American-style shrug. It's an American thing? Alright. I'll take credit. I get it. Well, good luck to you, Yumiko. I think it's time to leave before she starts probing any further. Seems like she's hung up on that point. After those events, I've been intentionally addressing Yumiko by her first name. The family name would actually be more appropriate here, but I've got a bit of a reason for doing this. Says the woman who's never referred to me as anything but you. So you're saying, as classmates, we should both use last names? Yumiko's expression clearly reads, oh crap. Isn't that the starting point for building a cordial relationship? Alright, in that case I'll take our friendship to the next level by making up a pleasant nickname for you. Not to worry, you can do the same for... Alright, too far, got it. These are some fun interactions. It might be a little early for that, so I propose starting with last names. Yumiko hesitates briefly, but before long she opens her mouth stiffly and in a tight voice. Victory. After speaking those words with a cramped attempt at a smile, she stalks off. Yeah, best regards, Sakaki. Thus, after great hardship, I finally succeeded in establishing an absolute minimum level of communication with my 5th classmate. Got there, boys. Alright. Seems this student life thing is pretty rough in its own way. Okay, so I think I'm going to end this episode here. It's a nice little in-between. That scene is over. I don't want to hop in too much more. Man, this is getting more and more intriguing as it goes on. And my decision of which route to take has not gotten any easier. It is still between Sachi and Michiru. Although I do really like Sakaki. Yumiko? That sounds right. Interesting character for sure. Definitely excited to get to that route at some point. I'll probably... I don't know. It's depending on how good the routes are and the what amount of variation is, how many times I play through this, but at least twice. And then if I really want to, I'll do it the 3rd time. So that's a maybe. But yeah, for now, not much else to say. Thanks for joining me. If you liked the video, please like. If there's anything you want to say to me or any ideas, leave a comment down below or hop on the Discord with links. Yeah, subscribe for more. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.